Welcome to the November 10th, 2025 cataloging meeting. As you will notice when you probably already looked at the agenda, there is not much on it. This is going to be a super short meeting. That does not mean there's not stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that y'all can't see going on with the committee and whatever, but yay for a short meeting. And now I need to find the agenda because I shrunk it and can't see it. Okay. So there's really, there's news and not news going on with the cataloging committee. We did have our monthly meeting that we usually have on the third Monday of the month. So it's usually the week after this meeting, but we did have it early this month. So we met on last Monday, it was November 3rd, and we're talking about things like parts and merging in future projects. So we are meeting, things are happening. There will be way more news in the next couple months or in the new year on what we are doing. But just know that, there's always something going on with us. As for consortium cataloger news, I always put the certification by numbers on there so you can see it. The modified edited certification will be going up in January. Basically, I've cut the quiz and edited a little bit, but it's mostly the same. But for those of you who are like, I hate the quiz, me too, kind of. I just felt like there should be one, but we've got rid of it, so no worries. But that will launch in January. And I am continuously working on crib sheets on my list. For this month, I have a score. And then I got asked by someone to make a Yoto card / player crib sheet, which I still kind of don't know exactly. I've looked at it and I'm still kind of confused. So if you have one of these and are willing to take some pictures and send them to me, because obviously I don't have one and I understand the card, but I need some more pictures and information on the player itself. Because I feel like we're always coming out with new media and then I am trying to guess what these dimensions and things are. So if you have decided to collect these at your libraries and you would like to send me pictures, please do so to my email or my cell phone number so that I can get a crib sheet up for you guys. So it's that much easier when you are having to create these records. Because as I've looked in like OCL scene around, libraries are collecting them, but they're few and far between. So we don't have a lot of examples as of yet. So any information you could give me would be really appreciated. And then a score. I did not have a score and somebody asked me for that, so I will be adding a score crib sheet. As always, if you have any requests for a crib sheet, you can always text or email me and I'm happy to add them to the crib sheet Bible that we have going. Okay, so that is as always. Regional training. So regional trainings 2026, they generally happen in spring, anytime from like the end of February to mid-June, depending on the libraries. I will begin scheduling those in January. So keep an eye out. There will be, I think we did 5 last year, so probably 5 or 6 again, depending on what people want. And if you hosted one at a library last year and are willing to do so again, please let me know. I will also be reaching out to the libraries that have hosted in the past to make, see if they want to do it again. But just a lot of things will be happening in January. Regional trainings will be coming up. So fun. Okay. I'm going to skip Cataloging Connect now because it says holiday fun. That's kind of, I guess, a surprise at this point. Nobody really knows what that's about. We're going to skip that and come back and do that last, if that is okay with everyone. Okay. So one of the things that we have been talking about in the committee is merging. And one of the things that has come with this conversation about merging is measuring. And right now, 10 pages, 3 centimeters. But as I've been talking to many people in the committee, people throughout MEC, I don't know if everybody exactly knows how they should be measuring. And that's on me. I felt like I had gone over this, but maybe not as well as I should have. So we are going to talk about that today. So when you are measuring in MARC, so this is going to be in your 300 MARC field. It is your C field. So that is your description. And these are the dimensions. When you are measuring, okay. I was like, I have an example. Let's see if I can reach it. And I always use one of these big metal rulers. if you've come to regional trainings, you also know that I have, let's see, this one. That is my on-the-go ruler. It's actually a bracelet that measures in centimeters just so that I don't have to carry the big scary ruler everywhere because it does not fit in anything. So I recommend if you're cataloging, especially doing original cataloging, you definitely need to be having something at your desk to measure, and it needs to have centimeters and inches, okay? We're most familiar with books. Books are measured in centimeters, but if you're doing other things, they can and sometimes are measured in inches. So you really have to have both. Okay, so implements ready. This one is dangerous looking, guys. But so the measurements when you are doing a book, and this is really for, yes, the patron, but also for the libraries collecting these things because of how far apart shelves are. Okay, and so most things fall into a general range. And then when you hit 30, it becomes oversized. So when we are taking, here's my book. I'm reading East of Eden. If any one of you have read it, you'll have to let me know. I started it 3 or 4 times in college and never finished it, so we're circling back. But you take your ruler. I'm going to measure from the top, and it is a book, so we are doing it in centimeters. And this says 19.5 centimeters. And so this is where we've come to the question. When you are measuring books in centimeters, we are rounding up. We are rounding up whether this is 19.5 or 19 and a hair. If it is 19 and a hair centimeters, we round up and we say 20 centimeters on things because the shelves, we need to know that hair will count. If your shelves are a hair off and you're trying to shove this book in there, it's not going to fit. Okay, so we are rounding up. And this kind of goes against what we were taught in elementary school, where if it's like, oh, it's 0.5, you round up, and 0.5, under 0.5, you round down. Unfortunately, that's not the rule for this. It's a hair or above, you round that puppy up to the next one. So if I am putting this book in the catalog, East of Eden, I'm going to say it is 20 centimeters. That is what I am going to be putting in my 300. Now, not all books are this nice rectangle this way, okay? If they are, generally you just measure the height of the book. Now, if you have some of those swirly kids books, picture books that are long this way, okay, if it is wider than it is tall, that is when you add both measurements. It would still be height times width, so you'd measure it one way, and then you'd measure it the other. But if it is longer than it is wide, that is when you would have those 2 measurements in your 300 field. Does that make sense? I tried to find a picture book in my own collection that was overly large like that, and I didn't have one. All of mine were like regular shape. So there you go. You'll also see, let me pull this back up. You'll also see that some things are standard sizes. And those are going to be like a CD, a DVD, a video game disc. Why is that measured in inches? Y'all, I wish I had a reasoning for you. I wish I could give you a quick and dirty answer and say, oh, well, all media is measured in inches. That's not true. Some of the media is measured in centimeters. Why are CDs measured in inches? Because they tell us to do that, and that is what we do. But at least there's a standard size. So if you have a standard size disc, it is 4 3/4 inches. Okay. There are other things that are standard sizes, like, a playaway, and that is, I don't have that memorized. I have to write that down and like go back and check the crib sheets. Usually, like, how big is a playaway? Well, it's 3 3/8 times 2 1/8. Why? I don't know. This is just what they tell me to do. An audio cassette, same thing. A VHS, same thing. Those have standards measurements. But things that you're always going to have to be measuring by hand are, of course, books. If you have any weird like objects or containers. So like if you have a board game, what are the container measurements? And on those, you will need length times width times height. So there'll be 3 measurements in there. So it really just depends what you are measuring. If what pieces you have to, and it's never wrong to include like a height or a width. include more information in the record. That's fine. Is it maybe required? Maybe not. But if you're questioning it, it's always better to include it than not to include it so that nobody has to question it. The last thing I will point out about this is I know in RDA that the rules are we do not abbreviate. We spell everything out. So why, Liz? Why is it centimeters period and IN period? Because whoever made this rule said, quote unquote, let me quote what they say, that's not considered an abbreviation. What now? That doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense. I hate it. If you happen to spell out inches or centimeters in the record, no one is going to be angry. But apparently whoever decided this rule in MARC and with RDA said, we're not counting that as an abbreviation. So I'm sorry, guys. It's another thing that just doesn't make sense. It is just, we do what we're told and we go on about life. So I apologize. I'm not going to get into the fact whether they have periods or not periods based on the next MARC field, because no one needs to be that crazy. But there is a rule about if it gets a period, if you have a 490 or not, but we're going to just say that doesn't exist because no one needs to be that insane at this level. I'm just going to be happy we're measuring. Okay, so takeaways. More information is always going to be better. If you are questioning whether you should include some measurement, include it, it's fine. And we always round up on our books. Okay. Now, I know that seems weird in inches when it's like 2 1/8, but that goes into like archival things, and that's why they get squirrely with their measurements, and they're very exact. But books and centimeters for us, round up. Do we have any questions that I can answer or tell you that there's no reason that it's like this? Because I feel like this was a lot of, we have to just do what they tell us. Okay. So when we're thinking about this, when it has to do with the current merge rules, think about like, okay, this thing I'm measuring is 21 centimeters, and I am looking at this thing that is 24 centimeters. Did the person who measured the thing at 21 round up? Did the person at 24 round up when they shouldn't have? These rules that we have are a little squishy in that case, okay, when you're thinking of it like that. But just know, from now on, we are going to be following what MARC says, and we are rounding up like we should to the next centimeter on the book. I'm holding the ruler and you can't even see it. Up. Always up, never down, okay? Any committee members want to add anything? Do you know something I don't know about why the rules are so weird?
In chat, Heather says it's a symbol, I guess the inches and the centimeters.
That's what they tell us.
I think technically CM is a symbol. I don't know who made that rule. I'm not sure I agree.
No, because to me, if it's a symbol, I should have to use diacritics to insert it. So like copyright or the P. But if I don't, how is that a symbol? But y'all, if anyone figures that out, let me know. It is what it is.
I am happy to round up because I can't read a ruler for real for the life of me. You know, you give me quarters and halves, I'm good. But once you get after that, it's like the line after the big line. That's how I read a ruler.
I will admit to that also. My dad
Same.
loves to make fun of me about this. Okay, I'm not good at it either. So I'm happy to round up. Next centimeter, awesome. I don't have to figure that out. So there we go. Okay. Now we're going to skip back and we're going to talk about cataloging fun. Woo, holiday fun. Unless anybody has any more questions. It does not have to be about measuring. Okay. We are going to skip back. Let me pull up my agenda again because, all right. Oh, I called this holiday fun. So holiday fun is what happens when Kate and Sarah and I have like a random other chat and one of them says, what if we did this? Insert thing. So you know us, we like to have a little bit of fun because we are trying not to take ourselves so seriously and be as pedantic as whether inches is a symbol or not, okay? So our holiday fun, we have decided to do this year is we are going to have a cataloging pet photo contest. So what this will involve is It is going to be open from November 15th to December 15th. After December 15th, what is it? Hang on, I'm reading the chat. What is the system for the order of how books appear in our OPAC? Heather, what do you mean by that? Like, you mean searching, and like if it's
So yeah,
more relevant, it's towards the top?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, well, maybe I'm thinking about the trouble with multiple records for the same title, and wondering if if a title has more copies, if maybe it could be closer to the top than if it has fewer copies on that record. But I'm looking at it, I can't tell how they're put on there. If they're by how new they are, or
It is by something. Okay. So how this works is I know it's going to be one of the things you're like, Liz, you have no answers today. I'm sorry.
it's all
So
good.
when you are looking things up in the catalog, it is taking the zeros and ones and it is saying this is the most relevant record to your search, and that appears at the top. Now, we have to put relevant in quotes because it is literally doing this off of ones and zeros and things in the background we can't see. So what we would consider the most relevant record doesn't always appear at the top. Now, would it kind of make sense if the one that had the most holdings appeared at the top? Yeah, that would kind of make sense. Can we control that? Absolutely not.
Oh man. Okay.
I know. And this is not taking into account if you have Aspen. Okay,
Wow.
then that's another question. Okay.
Okay.
I'm full of non-answers today. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, thank you for your non-answer.
Yep, you're welcome, even though I don't feel like I helped. Okay. Oh, holiday pet contest. So it'll be open from November 15th to December 15th. December 15th, then the cat committee will get together and we will look at all of these photos and we will have winners and there will be prizes. TBD what the prizes will be. They will be fun, but probably silly because you know how we be. But there will be two categories. There will be single pets and there will be multiple pets. And these pets can be anything. You know how the catalogers are. We love a cat. We put cats on everything. That doesn't mean you have to send us a cat photo. Anybody have a lizard and a Santa hat? I will just die from excitement. Okay. Like, this is what I want to see for the holidays. Okay. So that is going to be our holiday fun. And so November 15th, I will send out the link and it will be a Google form where you can input your information and upload your photos. I will show you what it will look like if I can figure out my own screens. Let's see.
Just wanted to mention that the pictures do have to be Christmas themed.
Yes, they technically need to be Christmas. So does it mean you have to make your animal wear an outfit? No. If I tried to do that to one of my animals, they would eat said outfit and me. Okay. But if they're under a Christmas tree, whatever, that counts. If you can dress your animals up, please do. I am going to be very excited if they are. So let's see. There's my share
There's
button.
a question in the chat from Carol. She says, the existing record says 24 centimeters. Add if the book is 21 or 22 centimeters.
Yes, you add it. I would add it. Because I am assuming 21, maybe 22, and 21 is, those are squishy. Those are squishy. What we really are thinking about is it the same thing on the inside. But if it's just off by a little bit and you think it might probably should go on there, I would add it. I would merge it. Okay, so this is the form that we will be sending out on November 15th. We're going to send it out to the cataloging list. And so there you go. We'll just ask you some information about you, your name, your email, your library, so we can contact you if you win. And then, of course, the two categories, single and multiple. And then we'll just be asking you some questions about your pets so that when we have a winner and it is announced, we can include some cute information about like your pet, like what their name is, because everyone will ask us if you don't tell us. Okay, so name of your pet, age of your pet, and then an upload. So that is Christmas fun. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me via email or text, and I'm happy to answer questions about that. TBD on what the prize is. We'll figure that out as, you know, life goes along. And then whomever wins, we will send that out via the courier.
I would like to thank you for not using the listserv for this. Because the last
Kate
time you
said,
guys
"Don't
sent
do it."
out all those pictures, Steve was having to approve all of them. And so this is great. I appreciate that from my end.
That was definitely mentioned, and we were like, let's not ruin Colleen's holiday.
Please, thank you.
So yes, that is why it is in a Google form. So yes, that is holiday fun. So anybody who is on our cataloging list is welcome to, submit. We didn't come up with this in time to really get everyone on board with like, the circulation or whatever committee, but it doesn't mean if you're not a cataloger, you can't do it. We're flying by the seat of our pants this year, guys. Okay. So
This is really just an excuse for me to get pet pictures from everybody, I'll be honest.
it really honestly was since who are you, Kara? Sarah, who are you? Kate and Sarah. Kara, since Sarah has become the chair, she has been saying that her demand will be pet photos. So this may just be an excuse for her to get her demands made, but. All right.
Also with Heather, I really hope someone has a hedgehog and they can, I don't know. I envision a teeny tiny Santa hat on every quill.
Oh, I am really hoping somebody has something like a goat or a cow or something like I would just not be expecting. I mean, I have 2 cats in my house and 2 dogs, but like, we're just very excited to see pet photos. Okay, so this is going to be a very short meeting. We knew that going in. There just wasn't a lot to talk about. There's a lot of stuff in the works right now, but a lot of stuff not decided and that we can talk about yet. Now, reminder, we never have a December cataloging meeting. That is just one where, the fish got it or whatever. What do they say? I don't know. Something ate it. We don't do December. It is too hectic with libraries and closing. I know Heather's giggling at me. I made that up. I don't know what's happening. So we don't have a December meeting. The cataloging committee, the little group of us, will meet in December, but the larger group here, we will not meet again until January. Okay, that is on the agenda, but just a reminder, and I will send a note out reminding you not to try to have although if you just want to see me, I'm sure I could chat with you, that's fine, but we will not be having an official meeting in December. We are under a half hour and I'm very sad but weirdly impressed with us because I like to talk to you guys more, but this is really all we have to talk about this month. So do we have any questions, concerns, anything for the good of the order? I'm giving a minute in case somebody's typing something in chat. Okay. So this is it, guys. We will see you again in January. As always, you know where to find me. Feel free to email or text me or whatever. Cat Help is always available, or you can email me directly. Otherwise, have a very safe and happy, November, December, and we will see you again in January. All right.
Hi, everyone.
Have a good day.